Hey Leute, was geht? NeroFreyz am Start. Wir sind das letzte Mal hier gestorben. Und gucken wir mal, ob wir es diesmal schaffen mit mehr Geduld. Die habe ich aber irgendwie nicht. Für gewöhnlich sind hier doch Gegner. Schauen wir mal. So, dann beißen wir den und hauen mal ein bisschen ab, wo wir mehr Platz haben. Mensch. So Leute, hier hört sich an, als würde der Himmel gleich gespalten werden. Ein Sturm zieht auf. Ja, läuft gut, Leute, läuft gut. Ich bin aber gerade echt nicht so gesprächig. So. Die hat mich abgeschlachtet. Abgeschlachtet. Wir sind sein Meister-Vampyr. Gibt's sowas? Da. Nehmen wir alles. Nelkenextrakt. Die Kiste kriegen wir wahrscheinlich immer noch nicht auf. Salicin.
It's locked, all right.
It's locked, alright. Da schauen wir mal. Mundwinkel, verletzte Arme und
Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
Ja, Mundwinkel.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally open to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Dr. Corker and Tippets.
Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Ja, also nur das. Befrage Corker and Tippets zu Behandlungsfehlern. Befrage Gwyneth Brannigan zu Behandlungsfehlern. Mach mal. Aber ich frage mich echt, wo dieser Schlüssel ist. Ist gar nichts. Oh nee. Sollen wir uns echt mit denen anlegen? Zack. Der lebt noch. Mensch. Frisch. Oh mein Gott, Leute. Mensch. Oh, der. Oh. Boah. Puh. Das war knapp. Aber wir haben es geschafft. Mal gucken. Wo ist dieser Schlüssel, Leute? Denkt ihr, der ist noch oben? Kalium, Pergament. Permangat. Puh, wir bräuchten das Leben jetzt. Oh Leute, es hat geblitzt. Ich weiß nicht, ob man das über das Headset hört. Oha, Leute. Das muss man gehört haben. Ja, wird definitiv stürmen. Ja, regnet schon. Ah, ich mag Gewitter. Vor allem, wenn es blitzt. Ich hoffe, der Strom fällt nicht aus, Leute. Also sollte eigentlich nicht passieren. Ja, Regen. Regen Isar. So, wir gucken mal jetzt hier, was der Doktor zu sagen hat, aber erst gehen wir, glaube ich, zur Schwester. Reden mit der Schwester. Da sehen wir. Pembroke Hospital. Das ist schon Hagel, Leute. Ich kann nicht aufhören rauszusehen. Ah, sprich mit dem. Bitte, Gönnerin des Krankenhauses. So, gehen wir mal zu der Gönnerin. Warte, ist das die Schwester? Nee. Wir brauchen Berrigan. Also, ja, das ist schlau, dass wir nicht mit jedem geredet haben jetzt. Wo sind hier die Damen? Da wahrscheinlich.
It's locked.
Oh, sweet girl. Will this shift never end like a book?
So. Gehen wir erst zu der Gönnerin. Sammeln nebenbei natürlich noch alles Mögliche ein.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Ist es nicht die, die uns
Good
gerettet hat?
evening, Dr.
Nee.
Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp. The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
So it seems our Dr. Swansea does indeed have a fascination for creatures of our constitution.
Dr. Swansea is a remarkable man. Dedicated, one might say, obstinate? He spent years compiling our bestiary.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
Oh, Leute.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Ich habe Fragen.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Patienten, die Ihnen Probleme bereitet haben.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
Glauben wir hier? Ja, ich denke schon.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
So, ich bin hier, um Ihnen zu helfen.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
So.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Was wollen Sie von mir?
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Bitte fahren Sie fort.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Ist das wahr?
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Ich brauche nur Informationen.
Excuse my impertinence, Your Ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Okay. So, dann gehen wir zuerst zu dem Doktor. Wo ist denn hier diese... Wie komme ich denn zu ihr? Weil ich würde gerne diese Gwyneth Brannigan gerne finden. Mensch.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Mortimer.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
So, da schauen wir. Ja. Fühlen Sie sich hier gut beraten?
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Gesellschaftlich hochgestellten Patienten. Ich hasse so, Leute. Was haben wir hier gerade, ne?
Have you heard rumors of blackmail going on in this hospital?
Dr. Reed, are you trying to take advantage of me?
Of course not, Mrs. Goswick. I'm just curious.
Well, go be curious somewhere else, please.
Aha.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Ah. Okay.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
So, okay. Das heißt, die andere hat Geld dafür verlangt.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Die Miese. Das ist keine Dame. Wo ist denn diese Frau? Ich frage Gwyneth Brannigan. Pippa Hawkins? Ah, das ist... Hm? Nee.
Daily routine.
Das ist sie wahrscheinlich auch nicht. Royal Garden Hall Theater. Clyde Fitch präsentiert Doris Fletcher Sappho. Ja. Kleiner Beutel voller Ramsch.
What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Tja. Halten Sie den Mund.
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified.
Qualifiziert.
I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
Oh yeah.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
Oha.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Tja. Gut.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Ich finde die Schwester nicht. Aber jetzt sind mehrere Leute markiert, Leute. Guck mal. Da, Gwyneth Brannigan. Da haben wir sie endlich. Geben wir dir mal hier so Heilteil.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
So. Drücke R1, um den Gesundheitszustand des Bürgers zu kontrollieren. Die Heilung eines Bürgers verbessert seine Blutqualität und belohnt dich mit EP. Außerdem verbessert sich der Gesundheitszustand des Bezirks. Ja, wir fragen ihn mal erst.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
Sie sind dort beinahe gestorben, wollte er Rache.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
Oh je.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. As long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
Ich habe echt das Kribbeln, den umzubringen.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
Macht er sich an unsere Krankenschwestern hier ran.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
Irgendwann sind sie dran, sie werden bald sterben. Wir müssen alle für unsere Taten gerade
We
stehen.
can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
Ah, Clay Cox, Hinweis verfügbar.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in the hospital?
Blackmail? That's not my style. Too risky. The black market, though. Now that's where the money is.
Macht er. So, okay.
I'll leave you for now,
Nein.
Mr. Cox.
Jetzt habe ich vergessen dem.
Hey, Doc.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
So,
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
jetzt zeig mal her. Er holt sich. Also ihr könnt wir easy töten. Aber Leute, wir versuchen es ohne. Zerknittert der Brief. Zerknittert. Ich habe deinen Scheiß satt, Clay. Was zum Teufel hast du getan? Die gesamten verdammten Docs zerreißen sich das Maul darüber, wie mein Mann diesen dämlichen Jungen aufgeschlitzt hat. Wie oft habe ich dir gesagt, du sollst bis 20 zählen, bevor du dein Messer ziehst? Wie sollen wir anständige Geschäfte machen und bei Leuten Gehorsam einfordern, wenn du einfach alle umbringst, die dir über den Weg laufen? Jetzt suchen angeblich irgendwelche Jungs aus der Familie des Toten nach dir. Und einer von ihnen soll sogar geschworen haben, dich zu töten. Komm heute Nacht nicht nach Hause. Ich habe auf den Straßen seltsame Männer patrouillieren sehen. Das könnten irgendwelche kommunistischen Milizionäre oder so sein, die dich festnehmen sollen. Begib dich für ein paar Tage an einen sicheren Ort. Vielleicht kann ich das Krankenhaus in Whitechapel. Mach dich wenigstens einmal nützlich und prüfe, ob wir da irgendwelche Geschäfte machen können. Wenn sich die Lage beruhigt hat, schicke ich einen Wet Boot Boy zu dir. Dann weißt du, dass du zurückkommen kannst. Edwina. Ja, jetzt habe ich diese Schwester verloren. Gwyneth Brannigan.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Das haben wir schon gefragt.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
Sie haben ein großes Risiko auf sich genommen. Ich kann Ihr Handeln nachvollziehen. Ja, doch, eigentlich kann ich es schon nachvollziehen, oder Leute? Ja, doch. Ja.
I can't say I approve of what you did. But as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority, so we can't afford to lose Dr. Tippett.
So. Das hatten wir jetzt, ja.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Okay. So. Ja, befragen wir noch Corcoran Tippett, was der zu sagen hat.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Schwester Gwyneth macht sich Sorgen, sie müssen nicht zureisen. Sie verhalten sich verantwortungslos.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Okay.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Goodbye, Dr.
Das
Tippett.
war's. Okay. Das ist doch. Nee, Moment hier.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Ja, hier.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Wieso nicht kündigen?
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
Oh je.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Ich wollte nur fragen.
Goodbye,
Oh,
Dr.
nein.
Tippett.
Ey. Ich bin zu schnell.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Haben Sie irgendwelche guten Neuigkeiten?
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
I will cover for you, Dr. Tippett, by keeping what happened to Mr. Connor to myself.
I don't know what to say, actually. I can't exactly force you to become my accomplice.
You didn't force me. This is my decision to make. I believe you're still of use to the hospital, considering the situation.
Then I can make you this promise. As soon as the epidemic is eradicated, I will resign.
Guter Mann.
Goodbye,
Oh,
Dr.
geil, der hat uns bestochen. Wir haben ein bisschen Geld bekommen. So. Ja, mit denen könnte ich auch mal eigentlich reden, aber es dauert so lange, Leute. Pippa Hawkins, Dorothy Crane. Das ist Pippa
Too
Hawkins.
much energy for so little result.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Vielleicht besiegen wir es ja. So.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
Sie wären überrascht. Mir gefällt ihre Einstellung.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Ey, Mann, die sind alle negativ, egal was wir antworten.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Warum hat Milton
Why
so
is
schlecht-
Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Ja. So. Ein seltsamer Mann, der die Schwestern besucht.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Die alte Schachtel wird nur von Hass zusammengehalten. Ja.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
So, und noch Dorothy Crane, Leute. Und dann ist aber auch Schluss jetzt. Ich hab die Schnauze voll von Fragen stellen. Aber so ist das. Was ist das denn? Also. Die ist hier irgendwo. Lauschen. Drücke L3, um deine Vampirsinne zu aktivieren. Wenn sich ein Bürger verdächtig verhält, schlägt sein Herz schneller und leuchtet. Indem du ihn anschaust, stellst du besondere Interaktion vor. Ist das sowas? Okay, es lädt. Aber lädt komisch, Leute.
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but... well, we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. We've taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
Gut.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Eigentlich wollte ich hier Dorothy finden, Leute. Aber ich denke, das hat auch jetzt gereicht. Ich bedanke mich herzlich fürs Zusehen. Ich hoffe, euch hat es gefallen. Lasst ein Like und einen Kommentar da, falls ja. Okay, Moment. Hier ist. Ja, mal, ja, Leute, das sehen wir das nächste Mal. Vielen Dank fürs Zusehen. Macht's gut und bis dann. Euer NeroFreyz.